Welcome back to Dr. Smith's Secrets to Healing, which airs every Tuesday evening from 9:30 p.m. to 10. And I'm Jordan Bradley, a licensed massage therapist, here with Dr. Smith, who holds a PhD in clinical nutrition and is a naturopathic doctor. Dr. Smith owns Advanced Clinical Nutrition right here in Wichita Falls. And today we are talking about balancing female and male hormones using clinical nutrition. And I'm very excited about this. Right now it's time to do one of our viewer questions, and this is from Karen of Wichita Falls. She writes, Dr. Smith, a few years ago, progesterone creams came on the market. Even more recently, bioidentical hormones. Do you recommend them?
Karen, that is an excellent question, and thank you for asking it. However, Karen, I do not recommend using hormone creams for two reasons. Before I explain why, let me clarify for our viewers that while progesterone creams contain only progesterone, bioidentical creams may contain both estrogen and progesterone, depending upon the formula compounded for you by the pharmacist. Hormone saliva testing identifies which hormones are needed. The reason I do not recommend creams is because the dosage cannot be measured or monitored accurately. A woman may use a teaspoon of cream one day and a tad more or less the next. And is the amount on the fingers, when the fingers are used to apply the cream, considered in the dosage? The amount on the fingers is also absorbed into the skin. So women using creams often get more than they need. After about 8 months of using creams, for example, they can have the same symptoms of depression, irritability, excess bleeding, hot flashes, sweats, and so on that they previously had. The important key is hormone balance. Being progesterone dominant can cause the same symptoms as being estrogen dominant. Because women using progesterone or bioidentical hormone creams originally received some relief when they first started using them, they often do not associate the return of their symptoms 8 months later with the use of these hormone creams.
Wow, that's interesting news. What's the second reason you don't recommend these hormone creams?
Chemical preservatives and binders are often used to hold the hormones together in a cream form. Chemicals such as PEG-8 stearate, propylene glycol, or methylparaben. Over time, these can cause toxic chemical buildup in the sites where the creams are applied. For example, a local physician referred a patient to me who had been suffering with 30 to 40 bouts of diarrhea every day for over 10 years. Within a few weeks on her therapeutic clinical nutrition whole food supplement program, she was no longer suffering with these bouts of diarrhea, and at one of her follow-up appointments, she announced that her physician had put her on a bioidentical hormone cream. When I asked her if she was experiencing any new symptoms, she said that she was having pain in her wrists. I asked her where she was applying the hormone creams, and she said, my wrists.
Wow. I'd like to summarize for our viewers what we've been talking about here, Dr. Smith.
Okay.
So hormone creams cannot be accurately measured and may have chemical preservatives and binders in them which have toxic side effects. So then would it be better to take hormones orally?
Yes, Jordis, when taking hormonal herbs, taking them orally is better. It is always important to be tested first. Then with the saliva testing, with a saliva test, you know exactly which hormones are deficient and which are excessive. To help the body balance hormones, I recommend herbs first because they are whole plants. The body can safely and totally use the hormonal herbs as estrogen or progesterone, depending upon the herb used. Some herbs would be recommended if a person was estrogen dominant, and other herbs would be recommended if they're progesterone dominant.
Well, what about plant-derived hormones like bioidentical hormones or progesterone or estrogen that is plant-derived?
First, it's important to understand that plant-derived hormones are not whole, complete hormone nutrients like herbs. The hormone is extracted out of an herb, for example, and then bottled or put into a cream.
Well, how do hormonal herbs compare with the plant-derived hormones?
Herbs are whole plants. Nature provides everything in it that's necessary to assist the human body in balancing hormones. so they can be metabolized fully and they are safe for both short and long-term use. When used as directed, they have no adverse side effects. Because plant-derived hormones are extracted from an herb and not the whole plant, they are not safe for the long-term use. Taking them for longer than 3 to 6 months on the average may cause other hormone imbalances. Saliva hormone testing is required to recommend and monitor when they should be used and discontinued. In some severe cases of hormone imbalance, plant-derived hormones can be used therapeutically for short-term effect to raise or lower hormone levels. But as soon as the saliva tests indicate, switching to herbs to maintain hormone levels is best. Though both hormonal herbs and plant-derived hormones can be used in severe cases of hormone imbalance, I prefer hormonal herbs over plant-based hormones because of the whole food, whole plant factor.
Well, what is the best way to take these plant-derived hormones if you recommend them?
Sublingual is the best oral administration for plant-derived hormones. Sublingual means that the hormone tablet is held under the tongue until it is dissolved and it's absorbed by the salivary glands in the mouth. Dosages can be measured when using sublingual tablets, and they are transported to the cells much faster through the salivary glands. Plant-derived hormones taken orally, not sublingual, will lose a great percentage of their potency in the process of digestion.
Well, Dr. Smith, are there other causes of hormone imbalance besides imbalanced levels of hormone production, like too much estrogen or too little progesterone?
Yes, Joris, mineral deficiencies can lead to hormone imbalances.
How's that?
Well, think of it this way. A train transports people to their destination. Minerals transport hormones to the destination, which is cells. From a tissue mineral hair analysis, I can evaluate your mineral levels to determine if you have sufficient amount of minerals to transport your hormones to the cells. If the minerals are clinically insufficient or deficient, hormones can become excessive or deficient in the blood. Then when your physician is making a diagnosis for a hormone from a hormone blood test alone, your physician may assume that there's a problem with the production of the hormones from the glands when the real cause is a mineral imbalance. Also, from a tissue mineral hair analysis, I can identify if there's any toxic metals like mercury or aluminum that can also interfere with hormone balance.
So for a comprehensive evaluation of your hormones, you really need 3 tests, and that would be a saliva hormone test, a tissue mineral hair analysis.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, and a blood hormone test.
That's right. That's what's required for a comprehensive evaluation. I often find